Great news for everyone who is struggling in the reading fill in the blanks questions. I am going to present to you simple grammar techniques and I am going to pick up questions directly that are coming in the exam and we will solve it together using the grammar tricks. If you don't believe me, have a look at the student who was getting 2 or 1 out of 5 before, and after perfecting the grammar techniques, she started getting 4 out of 5. A small demo of how she was performing. Okay, so in the first subject, which one is the subject, verb and object?
Skin is the subject, exposed is the verb, and sun is the object.
Which type of verb is closely associated with verbs?
It's adverb.
Okay, you saw a short glimpse of how she was able to improve herself in a very short time and see her test results as well. You can do the same using the simple grammar tricks. Hey everyone, this is Anurag here from Edutrainex PTE. Hope you all are doing great. What we are going to do in this video is we are going to pick 4 questions directly in front of you using a random number generator from the prediction files, and these are the questions that are appearing or have been appearing in the exam before, so that you don't start saying, sir, you are only showing simple questions. Completely random. We will also look at the grammar tricks we can use to start solving these kind of questions. If you see the similar ones, you will also be able to do the same in the exam. Many of the students, our students or subscribers, have been using this particular technique and they have managed to cross 79 or even beyond that. You can also do the same. Very exciting times. Like and subscribe and watch this video directly till the end. And if you are really still struggling with your reading, writing, any module, you can contact us for paid coaching. We not only provide you coaching, but a comprehensive one. We'll give you the app access. You don't need to buy it separately. Everything included for you with the live classes. 3 months access included. Okay, so now I'm going to Google and I'm going to start generating 4 random numbers, and I have chosen number 4 between 1 and 40, and now I'm going to start the dial. So when we stop, it will give us 4 numbers and then we'll choose those questions from the prediction files. Okay, I've given it enough time to think about random numbers, and then now we'll go back and then we'll just click on stop and see which numbers have appeared. Number 6, 9, 12 and 33 in the ascending order. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the prediction files and we'll pick up those questions number 6, 9, 12 and 33 and we'll solve it together, as well as we will learn the grammar tricks that are required for to solve these kind of questions. It could be completely random type of question. So number 6 is this one, first time Japanese researchers. Number 9 is 500 million non-native speakers. Number 12 is chemistry is an important topic. And then we scroll down to number 33, which is again a random number. Ice storm, a very short passage, but yes, these are all exam questions. And that's what we are going to solve together. All right, so now I'm back. I have got that questions into the slides and got it ready for you. What I discovered are some amazing grammar hacks or tricks, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to share it with you, and you will see if you start applying these kind of techniques, simple techniques, you will be able to not only understand what is given in the passage, you will be able to solve the questions. So grammar, vocabulary, of course, both are important, but grammar will help you first, and only then vocabulary will help you. So first things first, grammar hack number 1 is subject, verb and object. Okay, subject, verb and object is a kind of pattern that is used in active voice, and in passive voice it reverses. So object comes first and subject directly in the end. Now who can tell me what subject is? Let's ask Pappu. Pappu, what is the subject?
Sir, physics, chemistry, and maths.
No, we are not talking about physics, chemistry, maths. We are talking about parts of speech.
Parts of speech. Oh my god. Tujama.
Okay. Stop, Pappu. I think Pappu is getting too much emotional. What I wanted to tell you that subject is nothing but noun or pronoun. It will always be noun or a pronoun. Same thing with the objects. So subjects and objects will always be noun and pronoun, and verb will be dangling in the middle. So verb can be simple present, past tense. I can tell you some examples. I am playing football, continuous. I play football. I will be playing football, or he will be playing. Tom will be playing. Tom is playing. Tom and Jack are playing. So everywhere you see a combination of subject, verb, and object. That is what we follow in active voice. Now, sometimes there could be some sentences which do not have an object, like I am playing. Okay, you don't specify what exactly you're playing or playing with. So you just specify I'm playing. That also will agree. But what happens here is the verb always has to agree with subject. So subject, if it is singular, then the verb will be plural. If the subject is plural, verb will be singular. Like they go, whereas he goes. Note it down, and if you don't know about this particular rule, that is what is main thing to understand. Grammar hack number 2 is talking about what comes after to. So whenever you see a preposition that is used in any of the sentences in the exam, after to, always verb 1 will come. So basic verb is what we call it as a simple present tense form. That is verb is also called as verb 1. It will always come in that form. So to do, to go, to eat, always verb 1 will come. So two techniques you have learned. Subject, verb, object is always going to help you, and then when you see this kind of preposition which is used to expand a phrase, and then you have to use a verb there in the simple present tense form. The third one is the usage of verbs and adverbs. So what are adverbs? Are nothing but words ending with ly, ending with fully, sometimes not ending with, but most of the time it is the pattern. And what do adverbs do is they describe a verb or they describe an adjective. So if I say I am eating slowly, so slowly is describing the verb over here. That is what we are trying to use the adverb to describe the verb. Now verbs and adverbs is not a specific pattern that they come before or after, but it will be very close to the verbs or even the adjectives. Like someone is very highly intelligent. Okay, so in this case, highly is describing the adjective. So just be careful. If you see an adjective or if you see a verb, there could be an adverb revolving around that. Now I'll pick up those questions because I wanted to cover the grammar tricks that we can use to apply in those sort of questions. We'll be covering more grammar tricks soon, but these questions directly use this particular tricks that we saw now. Now this is the first question that we picked up from the prediction file. The questions that are appearing for this particular month. You can give it a try by pausing the video, but if not, then we'll try to solve it together. So what do you see over here? For the first time, Japanese researchers is something that is noun, doing something. Have, what do you know about this particular rule? Have, I should have included in the slide, but this is another hack. After has or have, there will always be verb 3. So take a note of it. After has and have, we will always have verb 3. And if you just apply the subject, verb, object, you can still get it right. Researchers dash real life experiment. What is real life in this case? What is Japanese in this case? We'll come to know that these are adjectives that are describing the subject. Okay, and 90% of the time they come before the noun. So first thing is recognize the noun. What is a noun? Something. Anything that you see physically, name, person, place, or anything that can be imagined. But if you can replace it with something like an idea, something coming in your mind, as soon as that you associate it with something, that is a noun. Okay, researchers are people, so definitely noun. Experiments are also something that you do, so that are also noun. Now what are we missing here is subject, we found, object, we found, we are missing a verb here. And using the grammar trick, after have, we only know that we have to put a verb 3. How many verb 3s do you think are there? Sustained, conducted, only 2. Now you have to pick up only 2, just apply the meaning. What do you do with the experiment? You sustain an experiment or you conduct an experiment? Definitely you conduct an experiment. That becomes your first answer. Okay. Same tricks what we just learned now. And this is an exam question. So don't tell me, sir, you're picking easy questions to solve in the video. Okay. They placed 22 vehicles on a single track and asked the drivers to dash around at a constant speed. Now, what did I discuss? After to, we'll have verb 1, basic verb. How many basic verbs do you see? I see dangle, I see tramp, I see spread, I see cruise. Now, when we are talking about going at a constant speed in a highway or wherever you are going at a constant speed, there is a word for it. Now, this relates to vocabulary. So, grammar tricks as well as vocabulary is necessary to crack it. It's not a difficult word. Cruise is the word, like cruise control, what you see in the car, cruise control, constantly driving at the same speed. So, that is the word we need here, cruise around at a constant speed, making perfect sense and also fulfilling the grammar criteria. Okay, now let's move to the third sentence. At first, traffic moves dash. Moves is a verb. What do we describe the verb with? Probably an adverb that is describing this particular action. At first, traffic moves somehow. So you want to describe this particular action. How is the traffic moving? So we need an adverb here, the same trick that we learned in the previous slide. Now we see two adverbs over here, abruptly and smoothly. What do you think is happening here? Context, apply the context, read it, understand it. At first, traffic moves dash, but soon the distance between the cars started to vary and vehicles clumped together at one point of the track. So that means at a later point of time, they are not moving smoothly. So that means initially they must have been moving smoothly. That's why after some time, the distance started to vary and they clumped together. So opposite of clump or opposite of messy is smooth. So that is the word we are looking for, and meaning, understanding the context also helps you to solve the question. Of course, grammar helped you to just shortlist only out of two, apply the meaning. Next one, but the jams dash backward. Okay, jams like the traffic jams dash backward around the track like a shock wave at a rate of about 20 kilometers an hour. Okay, so jams dash backward. Subject is there. Do we need a verb here? Yes, jams is doing something. Subject is doing something. So subject and verb is necessary to complete an active voice sentence. Now, we already found which type of words we were looking for, the verbs. We have 1, 2, 3 still remaining in the simple present tense form. We don't need a past tense form because it is talking about present tense. Have not used have or was. Those kind of verbs indicate that they are past tense. So what are we talking about? But the jams dash backwards around the track like a shock wave. So is it talking about dangling or tramping or spreading? Okay, real life jams move backwards at about the same speed. So this particular sentence is giving you another clue. Moving backward is related to what? Spreading. So that's the word we are looking for, and that's how you solve the questions using the grammar tricks that we just learned. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, this has 4 parts. Now, not all of the questions can be solved using grammar. Some can be meaning based as well. And because we have picked up the questions randomly, so we'll see about that. So this one is talking about with about 1.5 million non-native speakers, English has become the world's own language. Such dash has its own downside. Such dash, such is an adjective and we need a subject here. Subject is always noun, such dash, and then has is used as a verb, and then you have the object. So which kind of verb are we looking for? Nouns. Okay, find out how many are nouns over here. Increase is a verb, rate is a verb, pack could be noun, part, in part can be used as a verb or a noun, major, adjective, important, adjective, dominance is a noun, twice can be used as a noun, 7, it's a number. Okay, so which one is going to fit the context? That is also important. Such dash has its downside, of course. What is it talking about? The whole world is speaking one language, that is English. Is it doing what? What is the nature that is showing? It's not talking about any number, twice or 7. It's talking about dominance. That is the noun. Dominance. Such dominance has its downside. So that becomes your first answer. See, such dominance. And this pattern also we are going to talk about it. Have a note now. Adjectives come before the noun. Okay, that is also the trick. Looking at the next one, there are now about 6,800 languages left in the world compared with perhaps dash that number back at a dawn of agriculture. Okay, so what do we think? Which type of number? Is it comparing? It is doing a comparison. Dash that number. 2 times, 3 times, 4 times that number. That's how you use it in everyday language, isn't it? So twice that number, thrice that number, that kind of word we use. And I can see one word only fitting that. This particular word 7 is just a number. 7, that number is not making sense. You have to make it 7 times in order to use it. So that's the answer. Now let's move to the third one. Thanks in dash to the rise of Uber languages. Thanks in dash. Most importantly, English. The remaining languages are now dying at the dash of about one a fortnight. What are we expecting here? In dash. So are we thanking to these Uber languages? Partially we are thanking, right? So we're not thanking completely. That's why it is using in dash. In totality, in part, those are the kind of words you are looking for. In measure, it's an adjective. We don't need that. We need a noun here, in part. So that's what. Of course, part can be used as a verb as well. In part, parted. But in this particular case, it is used as a noun. And as I told you, not everywhere grammar will help you. Sometimes you have to know how to use these words. Okay. English, the dying languages are now dying at the dash of about one a fortnight. Now we have seen a similar sentence in the previous question. Let's have a look. At a rate of about 20 kilometers an hour. See, that's how we define a pace. Dying at the rate of about one per fortnight or one a fortnight. Is there a rate there? Yes. So we are describing the rate, and that's what we have to do. Use the word. Okay, now we got all the 4 answers. Let's move to the next slide. And now we are going to talk about some more grammar hacks that you see on the screen now. And these are the ones which we are going to apply next. Okay, there is one more remaining and that we have already covered, but I'll put it in another slide and show it to you. The first one is after a or an, always a singular noun will come. After these are called as indefinite articles. A and an. The is not called as indefinite article. That is called as definite articles. So you're not talking about the. After the, there can be singular or plural nouns. But in this case, after a or an, always it will be singular noun. What about two, many, both, several, numerous? After these kind of words, you will always have a plural noun. So that is the key difference here. A or an will have singular nouns and the below words will have plural noun. Okay, after that, even this, that, always singular noun. Now let's look at the next question. So we are going to apply the tricks that we learned before as well as the one that we just saw. Chemistry is an extremely important topic in physiology. Now watch this sentence. I told you to start observing the patterns. Okay, chemistry is the subject. It's a noun. Is used as a verb here because we are describing a state, not any action. Chemistry is something. What is it? It's an important topic. So topic is the object over here. This becomes your verb and this becomes your subject. What are these words dangling in the middle? See, important. It's an adjective because it is describing the noun. What is this word? Extremely. Again, it's an adverb. Adverb which is describing the adjective. See how these words are used together, and that's how we have been teaching our students even in writing, and they are getting fabulous results using the simple concept. If you don't believe me, join live classes with us. You will realize shortly. Okay, important topic, and you see how preposition is used to expand the phrase. The same concept we apply and teach our students for writing as well. Now, most psychological processes occur as the dash of chemical changes, as a dash of chemical changes that occur within the body. As a goes, as a neuron, as a signal, as a storage rectifies, as the passes. So we can use singular or plural noun in this particular case after the, but what are we needing? We are needing a noun as a result of something. So we can't say as a passes because these are verbs. Okay, storage is noun, signal again is a verb, so we don't need a verb. So neuron is a noun, goes again is a verb, we don't want that. So result or neuron, only 2 options you have left because we need a noun. Go with result because as a result of something is making sense, right? And that's a collocation as well. As a result, as the result, Okay. Next one. I told you after A, you have to use a singular noun. Okay. And I told you before the neuron is a noun, and of course signal can be used as a verb as well, signal or signaling or signaled. But if I am telling you this is a signal for something, then I'm using it as a noun. So some words can be used as noun, as verbs as well. So maybe in this case, it could be used as a noun. Read it. These changes include the influx, efflux of ions across a neuron's membrane, causing a dash to pass from one end to the other. A, now you have to use a noun. Neuron, you can't use it, it's not making sense. Neuron's membrane, you're talking about something inside the neuron causing something to happen. What is happening? Causing a signal to pass through. Signal is passing through from one end to the other. That's what we are trying to say, and that becomes your answer. Other examples include the dash of oxygen in the blood by a protein. Okay. Other examples. Other is adjective describing the examples, which is the subject here. Other examples. Okay. We could have said different other examples, adding more adjectives there. Include is the verb, and then again we need a noun here, not a verb, because we have already found subject, verb. Now we need a noun. You just need to start observing these things in the questions, in whatever you read. Make these part of your daily life. If you start observing these patterns in any written English, and these will always be present, you will see how faster you are able to do it in the exam. Include the dash. Include the neuron of oxygen in the blood by a protein, not making sense. Include the storage. Storage is also noun. Storage of something, or I put it in the storage. So are we talking about that? The storage of oxygen in the blood. So it is talking about storing something in there, and that becomes your answer. And the last one, in the blood by a protein as it dash through the lungs. As it becomes your subject. This is the preposition used to expand the phrase as it dash through the lungs. That this part becomes your object. So what is happening here? It is singular. We need a plural verb, subject and verb agreement. So goes can come, it goes through. That is a collocation. It rectifies through, not making sense. It passes through, also making sense. Now you have to choose between goes and passes. Through, passing through, okay, going through or passing through. I will choose passing through is because that is the most common usage, and that will get better when you do more and more reading. That's how you solve these type of questions using grammar as well as the knowledge of words and how they are used, which is what I keep sharing in the 40 vocabulary videos, not just the words that are appearing in the exam, but also how to use them, the most common ways. Okay, and the last hack, which I already talked to you about, is adjective comes before the noun, just the way you saw adverbs are coming close to the adjectives and the nouns. This is a very common pattern that we have seen hundreds of times in the exam, because that's a way of writing in English. It's nothing that we are inventing. It's a way of writing. This is the pattern you are always going to see, and just now we saw it in most of the questions that we did. Okay. Adjective will be describing the noun. They come before the noun. Let's do the last question and see if you are able to find some adjectives, the subject, verb, object, adverb, whatever it is. Now you know a lot of techniques. Let's start applying them. Again, if you need to, pause the video, try to solve it yourself, comment it. If not, let's do it together. An ice storm is a type of dash. This is a very short passage. We have seen these kind of questions appearing in the exam as well. Is a type of something. Okay. Something is a type of something. Okay. The mouse is a type of an object that is connected to a computer. So we need a noun here. Type of something. Evaluate your options. During is a preposition. Icy, it's not, it's an adjective. Raining is a verb. Whether it is a noun. Snowy, again adjective. Ice is a noun. Yes. While is a preposition. So we only have two options, weather or ice. Ice storm is not a type of ice, it is a type of weather. So straight away choose this as the answer. See, first shortlist using the grammar, then apply the meaning. When dash rainfall comes down into the cold air and water turns into dash. when dash rainfall comes down. When dash rainfall. Rainfall is the noun here. Subject, verb. Okay, comes down. Subject, verb. So what comes before a noun? Just now we discussed it is adjectives that come before the noun, and that's what we are looking to full here. When dash rainfall, which kind of rainfall comes in the core, and with the core layer they become something. We're talking about ice storm, so apply some context as well. So it is describing the rainfall here. It can be icy, it can be snowy, but we are not talking about snow here. We're talking about ice storm. So we will choose icy by applying the meaning here. Okay, so icy rainfall comes down into cold air and the water turns into, of course, it's going to be ice, turns into something. Again, a noun is needed here, and that's what will become our third answer. Let's look at the last one. Once there was a serious ice storm. See, serious is an adjective describing the storm. Adjective coming before the noun. How many times do I have to show you? 16,000 households had a blackout dash the ice storm as a result, as the ice storm would smash the cables. That's the sentence. Had a blackout. Households had a blackout. So subject, verb, object finishes here. What do we need here? To expand the sentence, we need a preposition. After subject, verb, object, when it finishes, we always use a preposition to expand the phrase. That's the same thing, same concept we apply in writing. We teach our students all the time when they do the live classes with us. Of course, you can learn it from YouTube as well, what I'm teaching here. So which type of preposition are we looking for? There are two, during and while. Which one will you choose? We are talking about a phase that is still passing. Okay, so we will choose during the ice storm, not while the ice storm. While something is happening is used in a different manner. So use only the word which is most appropriately and most fitting in this particular context. Okay, so you asked for it and I delivered it to you. Reading fill in the blanks made very simple using the grammar techniques, hacks or tricks, whatever you call it. In the essence, it's basic English grammar that is going to help you solve the reading fill in the blanks question in a simple manner. And if you haven't watched the video where I shared about one final strategy for reading fill in the blanks, go and watch it now. And if you're really struggling with any module or the complete course, WhatsApp us, join our live classes directly with me and we can help you reach whatever your target score is. Keep watching Edutrainex with a like and subscribe, and I'll soon be back with another informative video on PT topics. See you soon.